What's up, guys? Welcome back. Chicken tenders are one of those rare things that are loved by both children and adults. They're perfect for a game day appetizer, a party, or a late night snack. And today I'm going to show you how to make the most flavorful, crispy chicken tenders you've ever had in your life. Meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen. Now, when it comes to fried chicken, I really think about it in three categories. If you want to make the perfect fried chicken, you got to nail all three. First and foremost, it comes down to the brine. The brine is going to add tons of flavor and help tenderize the meat. Next, it's all about the crunch, the crispiness. That comes down to the seasoned flour, and I'm going to show you guys how to absolutely nail that. And then finally, once you do all of that, you got to have something to dip your fried chicken into, and I have two great sauce recipes I'm going to show you guys today as well. All right, guys, so today we're using chicken tenderloins. You can use breast or chicken tenders for this. There is a little bit of like a tendon that runs down the backside of the chicken tender that you want to remove because it's not very enjoyable to eat. So as we said, we're getting the party started with a delicious buttermilk brine. What's going to happen with this is the acid that's in the buttermilk is going to break down the muscle fibers of the chicken, which is going to ultimately tenderize the chicken. It's also going to add some of that flavor that we have. We got a little habanero hot sauce that we're adding today for a little spice. That's optional. If you don't want it to be spicy, you use something like Frank's. It's a little bit more on the mild side. And then my all-purpose seasoning. If you don't have that, just use a little salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, whatever flavor you like on your chicken. And then you want to allow this to brine for about 2 to 24 hours. Now, once you've nailed the brine, you can be confident that the chicken meat itself is juicy and flavorful. But most people love chicken tenders because they're extra crispy and that breading on the outside is where all the flavor is at. And that's the step we're going to nail right now. So you want to start with 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and I like to add the secret ingredient, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. The baking powder is the star of the show here because it's going to add some airiness to the chicken breading, which is going to add texture, and it's going to make it extra crispy. So once you have all of your ingredients in the mixing bowl, it's time to add some seasoning. Now for me, I like to use my all-purpose seasoning. It's a blend of salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder. I use a little lemon bay, which is like a marriage of lemon pepper and Old Bay. Adds tons of flavor. 1 packet of Sazon and a little bit of salt to taste. Salt is a matter of personal preference, so you can season to your preferences. Now, if you want to skip all of that, you can buy my all-purpose flour at MrMakeItHappen.shop. I've done all the hard work for you, measuring everything out. You can grab that if you like. All right, guys, once you've nailed the brine and the breading, it's time to figure out what we're going to dip the chicken in. I'm going to show you guys how to make this delicious homemade buttermilk ranch dressing. For that, you need 1 cup of Duke's mayo, whatever mayo you like. We all know Duke's is the best, though. And then we're going to go in with a 1/2 cup of sour cream. Going to eyeball it. And then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of buttermilk that I'm not going to eyeball because probably more likely to mess that one up. So we're going in with a 1/2 cup of buttermilk, a tablespoon of lemon juice. Going to bring a little acid, a little pop of freshness, which is going to be about 2 lemon cheeks, depending on how juicy your lemon is. No pun intended. In goes that. Pinch of parsley, pinch of dill, and then I'm going to cheat a little bit and use some ranch seasoning just to make sure we, cover all our bases. Then I'm going to season it with some salt and pepper or AP seasoning, whatever you got. Give it a mix. Let it sit in the fridge for about 30 minutes. You got a delicious ranch dressing on your hands. Let me know in the comments if you're a blue cheese or a ranch dressing person. I like both. Don't need to put 2 baddies against each other. Now, if you want to thicken it up a little bit, you could add a little bit more mayo or a little bit more sour cream, depending on your consistency preference. I like mine a little bit looser, honestly, because the dip works a little bit better that way, in my opinion. If it's super thick, it's kind of overpowering when you take a bite of your chicken. All right, guys, for our sauce today, one of my personal favorites is basically like an Asian sticky barbecue sauce. So we get the party started with 2 tablespoons of butter over medium heat. You want to warm this up. We're going in with a 1/4 cup of brown sugar right into that butter. The recipe's going to be good when it starts with brown sugar and butter. Going to give that a little mix. Then we're going in with a tablespoon each of garlic and ginger paste. You can use the fresh stuff if you want to, but this is efficient. Makes life a little bit easier. Garlic and ginger going in. We're going in with a tablespoon of sriracha. You can add more or less depending on your spice tolerance. 1/4 cup of low sodium soy sauce. Some of these other ingredients have high sodium, so I like to use the low sodium soy sauce just to make sure, keeping an eye on that. We'll start to mix this in a little bit, and then we'll add in our hoisin, our oyster sauce, and our sesame oil. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, it's time to actually fry the chicken. We had our buttermilk bath going, we got our seasoned flour, we got all the sauces made, the oil's coming up to 350 degrees. Now it's time to bread the chicken. Now, we're gonna take our chicken fresh out of the buttermilk, knock off any excess, one wet hand, one dry hand, get in there with your other hand and just really press that flour in there. You wanna make sure that it's nice and coated, no bald spots, and just make sure that it's adequately breaded. All the nooks and crannies are covered. Just really take some time, show it some love. Spill flour all over the counter. That's how you know you fried something. Makes the food taste better, I think, too. Repeat that process until all your chicken's breaded. All right, guys, now it's time to fry this up. We want to go ahead and get the oil temperature up to 350 degrees. You want to use a digital food thermometer to track that. As soon as it hits 350, we're going to drop the chicken, fry it until it's golden brown and beautiful, and at least between 165 to 175 degrees internal temperature. We're almost at the right temperature, so as soon as we hit 350, we're going to fry these up. Probably take about 8 or 9 minutes. All right, guys, now it's time for the moment of truth. We got our regular fried chicken that we're gonna dip into our honey mustard that we made homemade. And then our Asian sticky sauce fried chicken is gonna go into that ranch dressing that we made homemade. This is the part where I say, brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys, looking good. The only thing left to do is dig in for the taste test. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, guys, this recipe and all of my recipes can be found for free at mrmakeithappen.com. Printable recipes, step-by-step instructions, pictures, all that good stuff. Now, I already dipped this once for the thumbnail, but we're gonna give it another dip for good measure and get in there for a taste. Super juicy and tender. Crunchy. The tanginess from the honey mustard is great. Let's go Asian. Asian barbecue. The flavor is good. Damn. You gotta try this.